Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to try this again. Do not adjust your screens, do not adjust your monitors, do not adjust your tablets, and do not adjust your volume. This is Patrick from Siser, just not that Patrick from Siser. Patrick Ali is out getting some much needed R&R with the family, so he will be back before you know it. We've got an event Thursday night, another Siser After Dark, so he'll be back for that. So Siser went to the bullpen today. They brought in myself as well as Kortez. Kortez, how's it going?
It's good.
Good. We're going to blame that snafu on the daylight saving time. The time change kind of messed everything up for us. So we got that reset and taken care of, so we're ready to go. Hopefully everyone can hear us okay. If you can, first of all, welcome, and chime in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. And also, if you could, make a guess as to what we're about to show you once we get started this morning. So as you're doing that, we're going to go around the room, introduce you to all the usual cast that's here with us today. Our man Adam behind the board, hitting all the ones, the twos, the threes, the fours, the fives, and the sixes, and the volumes.
We got the volume outfit sorted out,
right.
So hope you guys are cool with that now.
Thank you, buddy. Good to see you. And also joining us, our new social media dynamo, Myrna. Everyone say hello to Myrna.
Hi, everyone.
And as usual, every week, Patrick calls him the Sultan of Syllables, the guy who knows words good. That's what I call him.
Grammatical gatekeeper.
The grammatical gatekeeper. Welcome, Adam Sneef.
Hey, everyone.
And the one who's in the back of the room pulling her hair out all morning. Say hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Welcome, as we mentioned. So we're doing something a little different today. This is a product that we technically launched back in October. We just kind of snuck it out to our distributors and resellers without much fanfare just to see how it would do in the market. We had a feeling it was going to be a popular product due to its older brother and sister that we released last year. So do we have anybody guessing it in the comments there, Adam?
We do have someone who guessed it's a new vinyl.
Ah, very good. Okay.
Getting warm.
Yeah.
We do. We don't have any other guesses coming in yet, but we do have people saying hello from Texas, Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Virginia, Ohio, Texas again, more
Good
Alabama.
cross-section.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I hope
People from
everyone's
all-
having a great day. But
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, we
now
did get
now
them?
I'm seeing the guesses. Okay, we have someone guessing neon vinyl, pastel puff, metallic puff, fluorescent HTV. I don't know. Do you think any of those are the correct answer?
we got a couple ones that are close in there. So without further ado, we'll go ahead. Kortez, do you want to have the honor?
Yeah. So are we just talking about the?
Yeah. These are the two existing products that we've had for over a year. This is our metallic puff silver and gold. It's been an extremely popular product for us. As with anything that adds dimension or a different finish, something that you get from that separates itself from any other printing decoration, whether that's screen printing, direct to garment, direct to film, standard, puff vinyl, anything that gives you that shimmer and the glimmer. So, Kortez, what are we introducing today?
So we have, out of the four colors, we have a golden rose, tiger lily pink, dusk blue, and I believe this is the bronze.
The bronze, yep.
This
Very
completes
good.
your four new colors of metallic puff.
Very good. And as we mentioned, these have been available for a few months, so some of you may have used them already or certainly seen them around, but today we are officially launching them. And as per usual with an official launch from anything from Siser, we're going to maybe have a giveaway at the end of this live, so make sure you stick around and we'll go through that and get you the details on that. So stay tuned for the live. So Kortez, what are your, as you hear about these new products and things that have dimension, you do a lot obviously with these designs and different finishes and looks. What's your immediate thought when you see something like this coming down the pike?
So my immediate thought is that this already beats out anything that has to do with your extra nice, unique finishes, especially when it comes to the puff with screen printing. There's a lot that goes into screen printing, a lot that goes into setting up your screens, your prints, and then even with adding the puff effect itself, it's a separate component that you have to add in to the ink to then puff once the print has been pressed and then ran through the dryer. So
Yeah,
this
so-
this really simplifies the whole process.
You take away the setup and the cleanup really with screen printing. Once you're adding those puff inks to it, that's a whole process in and of itself. So it's just really, I really, in over 30 years in garment decoration, I haven't met a screen printer that really enjoys working with puff ink. So to get a clean, sharp look like you get with the vinyl, and the ease of use, which we're going to go through in just a second, it's really, there's nothing like it in the industry. Do we have a question back there, Anna?
Two things. One, reminder to everybody to share this live right
yeah.
now so we can get everybody that was in the original stream back in to hear about this great new product. And then I'm actually going to pose a question to you guys. What's your favorite color of the new colors?
Ooh, I like the gold rose. That's the last few years, that seems to be a very popular color with any type of vinyl. That seems to get the most attention, I would think.
I'd have to go with the Tiger Lily pink. I mean, it's, for me, if there was a red metallic puff, that'd be my favorite, no question. But I mean, this is the closest it's going to get to a red, so I'm gonna have to go with the Tiger Lily.
Nice. And the nice thing about all these different products is because somebody in the comments mentioned pastel colors, they're kind of in that family. They all complement each other really, really well. So you're not just stuck using one. We have some great samples
Oh, they're all behind us.
of using
So cute.
Move this out of the way for the overhead.
all the colors to create unique finishes and unique designs. So you're not limited with the new product. So as we mentioned, very simple to use. From a cutting standpoint, we're not going to get into cutter settings and anything like that. You guys have seen that before, and as I mentioned, Patrick Ali will be having a HTV 101 After Dark series coming up beginning this week. So he'll get more into cutter settings. But it is a little bit thicker than what you might be used to working with as far as Easy Weed or some of the thinner products go. So make sure you do your test cuts.
Yes, test cut.
If you have a Romeo or a Juliet from Siser, I always use the holographic setting in the cut setting menu. Clean blade or a fresh blade obviously is going to help with anything. And Kortez, I don't know if you've run across in creating some of these designs any restrictions or minimums as far as line thickness goes?
No, I would say the thinner your line work or your design or font, the less puff or the less of an effect you'll get with your overall press, because your material is only so thin that it can only expand so much. So
Yeah, and you will get expansion with it, so be careful not to, well, I'm going to talk out of the one side of my mouth now, we'll show you something out of the other side in a second. You don't want to have anything that's too close together, because as this puff expands or as it puffs, it does expand, so you might lose a little bit of that design. So having said that, do you want to show the samples that you created earlier?
While
so
he's grabbing those too, did you say what sizes this comes in, and can people get this right now?
Sizes. First of all, I'll take the second part first. You can get this right now through any of our distributors or resellers. If any of those folks are in the comments now, feel free to drop a link or your contact info. This is available now, 12-inch widths, and depending on the distributor or the reseller, you could get from a 12 by 12 sheet up to a 25 or 50-yard roll. So 12 inches wide, though, with the metallic puff, the Easy Metallic Puff.
and I believe you can get this at Michael's, I'm trying to think, Sam's Club, no?
Michaels.com, Amazon, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mentioned about losing some part of the design as the puff expands. So here we have a couple of samples here. I don't know if we want to use the overhead there. Yeah, let me get this one out.
Yep, so here we have, on this side, we have a metallic puff, and it's a combination of your silver and gold. And then on this left side, we just have our easy regular puff. But what you're seeing here is just the same material, but you have two different cuts One has been transferred over onto the same carrier sheet as the original cut, which then gives you this nice blend of the combination of materials. And like Pat Boyle was saying earlier, you wouldn't really want to combine this with another material, at least kiss cutting it, because the puff will expand and then it may start to overlap on the design or other materials. But you can always transfer the same material onto the carrier sheet that you previously had cut. So again, this is showing you a combination of the transferring the easy red, pink, and then the white puff. But for this one, it's just the silver and the gold.
Can you hold this up a little closer?
Yeah. How close it needs to be?
This one being the metallic, obviously, so. But it's,
You showed where'd you do that shirt over there? Throw that one up.
Which one, this one?
Camera, yeah.
yeah. So this has all the colors, all 4 of the new colors on it. So, like we said, you're not limited to just using one color. You can get great multicolor designs with this product. And like I mentioned before, can't really get this type of dimension or this finish with a DTF design or a DTG or a screen print. So it's a great way to set yourself apart. The new colors are fantastic. This is a great time of year to introduce these. We've got a holiday coming up if you celebrate Easter. These are great colors to utilize with those type of designs. So great springtime looks with the new Easy Puff metallic colors. Kortez, you want to show that process a little bit with
So,
using the mask?
all right, let me. So here we have colors Tiger Lily Pink and then the bronze. These are the 2 separate cuts, but they're going to be one press for this application. So all I'm going to do is just weed my design.
Let me grab one too.
Okay.
Oh, you got me a letter. Thank you. What you just saw me kind of do is I cheated a little bit. Anything that has a white liner, which helps with the opacity on the heat transfer vinyl, sometimes can be difficult to see when you go to weed it. So what I've always done is I'll just take my design and just kind of roll it a little bit, and those cut lines will pop off of the back of the design. So now I know, because I didn't create this design and I didn't cut it, I need to know where those cut lines are on the weeding process. So that's a quick, easy way to help anybody else in your shop get an idea of what they're supposed to be weeding and what's supposed to stay on the carrier. So as you can see, this is a very simple product to weed. It does have a little bit of weight to it, so that helps with the weeding, so you don't really have to be ginger with it or too gentle with it. You can get in there and just kind of grip it and rip it.
All right, so all I'm doing here is just cutting my mask that I'll be using to transfer one cut over to the other, and this is literally just PSB mask.
Clean this up and get that out of your way.
And can you explain one more time, Kortez, why you're doing this transferring?
So with metallic puff, it is great because you have the 2-step process where your first part of the application is just getting the material to bond to the garment, but then your second press is where the action and the magic happens and you start to see the material expand and puff. So with that, I'm transferring one or the other piece of my design over because when you're going to apply this material, it's harder to get a nice clean application or finish to your design when you're constantly layering over carrier sheets on top of the metallic puff, because as it puffs, it will puff around the carrier sheet, but everything underneath the carrier sheet will not puff. So it is good to just transfer the design over so that when I do go to press, it's all in one time, one action, and everything will puff evenly.
Yeah, and you mentioned the application process, Kortez. That's a great point. Our standard puff colors, those are all a one-step heat application. So you'll be about 280 degrees for about 8 seconds. Pressure is always key with anything that's puff, but you peel that while it's hot. The metallic puff, if you were just to do a one color, it's a 2-step process. So 280 degrees, 8 to 10 seconds with a medium to firm pressure. Let it cool down just for a few seconds, peel that carrier, cover your design again, and hit it for an additional 8 to 10 seconds. And as Kortez mentioned, that's where all that puffing action is going to happen on that second application process. So because pressure is such a key, you want to make sure that you're using a more of an industrial heat press. Tough to get that even and equal pressure using a hand iron or some of the smaller, more craft type presses. So make sure that you're using a heat press where you can generate that good amount of pressure. And not just the amount of pressure, but as I mentioned, it's the even pressure, because you want to have the same amount of pressure in the lower left corner as you do in the upper right. So make sure it's all consistent.
So if we can get over to the overhead, I'm just trying to quickly show my material that's been masked. And I use a squeegee to make sure that I really get the material to stick to the PSV mask, because if you don't, you can have a hard time pulling up with the PSV. So make sure you squeegee just to make sure that you don't have any issues.
And if you do use a squeegee and you're trying to release it from the carrier, as we're doing right here, if it does lift up just a little bit, just go ahead and start from the opposite side. As long as you don't fold over your design or crease it, you're not going to damage it in any way. So if it does lift a little bit, you can always just start at the other side.
So here's the second part of my design. It's just a state outline of Michigan. But I'm going to lay it over, face side down, and with your metallic puff being on your PSV transfer, we're just going to slap it on over. And I'm just going to kind of guess. That's okay.
Any questions that have been coming in from anybody?
I'm sure there's got to be some questions.
Is this going to be available at Michael's?
Michaels.com, you can order the product, absolutely. And again, all of our distributors have access to it, and a lot of our resellers, and a lot of them are already carrying it. So if you have any questions about where you can buy, you can email us at info@siserna.com. Include your address, and we'll find the nearest reseller or distributor to you and get back to you. Any other questions, Adam?
Real quick, Kortez, can you just mention one more time why you use the transfer tape like you just did?
So I'm using transfer tape over like our TTD Easy mask or high-tack mask because it does release a lot easier than those other products. But again, it just allows me to transfer any material that I'm needing to press over a lot easier than it would be to just press one material and then press again after.
And it helps also with the alignment of the two different colors. So if you were to do this the standard way, where you apply the first color, hit that for 10 seconds, you wait, you peel it, and then you have to lay out the second color. That first color may have shifted a little bit, even though we're peeling it while it's warm. And also just working under the heat press, when you're trying to lay out that second color, this will help alleviate some of those hassles in working with multicolor. So we've got it ready. We've got it in position. We've got both colors just on the one carrier, so this is going to be very quick and easy to apply. First step we're going to do is
Just fold the shirt.
try to find that center point of the shirt. So we're going to fold it and then do a little crease to make sure that our design is going to go on right on the center of the garment.
We had a question about puff being used as an offset for a rhinestone design. Is that anything that you've tried lately?
It's nothing that I've tried personally, but it sounds like an interesting effect that I wouldn't mind giving a shot.
And then just to clarify for some folks, so the material itself comes pre-masked just as it always does, and that's
Yep.
why you cut in reverse. But the additional mask that Kortez is using was the Easy PSV mask, so that's our sticker decal vinyl mask. So what he's trying to do is pick up all the different colors of puff that he's trying to use in one to get it on one carrier, so he can just press all of it together twice as recommended, because when you start pressing puff for more than 2 presses, some of those colors can get a little wonky.
Yes.
Okay, so I found my center line. or something like it.
Center-ish line. That's the other thing that, you know, throughout my years in the business, people ask me for tips and tricks on centering and you know, how do you make sure they're straight? And you can spend a lot of time trying to get these garments or these graphics in perfect position on the garment, and then you heat press it and you give it to your customers and they put it on and the kid's slouching or somebody's leaning on the table like this. People are crooked. So don't spend a whole lot of time making sure your design's not crooked, because I mean, if you go to any department store and leaf through the pre-printed stuff, a lot of that, I'd probably say 35–40% of that is off center.
And don't ever ask Brett Murray to help you.
And don't ever ask Brett. Yeah. Shout out Brett and his shaky hands.
So back to that rhinestone question really quick. I think
Yes.
the question was more so if you were going to combine it with rhinestones, which do you think you should press first?
Actual rhinestones and not the faux.
Real rhinestones.
If you're pressing real rhinestones, I would suggest that you make that your last press. One, because your metallic puff, again, is a two-step process, but because your rhinestones are thicker, you would need that to press last, because your metallic puff, I don't think, would puff as high as the rhinestones would be sticking up.
Yeah, and be careful not to get those too close to each other, because the thickness and the solid nature of the rhinestones, if you would prevent your press from getting direct heat and pressure on the edge of that metallic puff. So make sure they're not butt to butt. Separate them a little bit.
And go ahead. Are you going to press?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do that. And I'll
So
ask
I've got my design on my garment on the heat press, and my first press is about 10 seconds. I like to press for about 8 seconds. It's just a sweeter spot for me.
No need for a cover sheet on that first press. As you can see, the carrier that we use for the metallic puff or any of the heat transfer vinyls doesn't melt or doesn't stick to the heat press. It's never a bad idea to always use one, just because we have adhesives and dust and things that are floating around your shop, and those will collect on your upper platen. So if you ever go to preheat a white t-shirt and you see little brown specks or yellow dots, that's just excess junk that's floating around that's collected to your press. You could wipe that down. These are all triple coated with Teflon. Could I say that word? Triple coated with a non-stick surface, and wipe it down and clean it up that way. But
Kortez, can you explain really quick too what you were doing with the t-shirt on the table and
Yeah,
why
so-
you were doing that?
So yeah, I was cooling off the material, because after your first press, the material itself or the adhesive really needs to cool, and that way it can stick to the garment much better. So all I was doing was just cooling the carrier sheet. That way the rest of the material in the garment itself would be cool enough for me to go for my peeling and second press. So then all I'm doing now is just taking that same design, and I recommend that if you use metallic puff or even just regular puff, you use parchment paper as your cover sheet, or even craft paper. Teflon holds in heat too much, and that can kind of destroy your finish for your metallic puff or regular puff.
now, the different cover sheets, Kortez, will that affect the look of the metallic puff? Like on some of the thinner heat transfer vinyls, if you use craft paper over top, you can get more of a matte finish. And if you use Teflon, it's a little shinier. Does that affect?
Yeah, so the parchment is kind of like a good in between. You still get a little bit of shininess without it taking away the vibrance of the color. But again, Teflon really takes away the vibrance of the metallic puff, so you really just want to stick with parchment paper or craft sheet or craft paper. I'm actually going to use both, because I found that my finish works best when I have parchment paper and then craft paper on top of that.
And again, the second process, the second step, another 8 to 10 seconds at 280 degrees. Any other questions that have been coming in, folks?
I have one, though I'm not sure if you guys will know. Is Easy Puff Metallic laser safe?
Ooh,
That is a good question.
that is a good question. If you look at CaesarNA.com, we actually, under heat transfer vinyl, we have a laser safe tab. That's a good question. I don't know for sure. It's not on that page. Okay, so I would stay away from lasers with the metallic puff. But that tab on the CaesarNA.com website we'll have all of our products that are laser friendly. Easy Weed, our Brick 600, Pure HT, those are all products that you can very cleanly and quickly, easily cut on a laser. That's a great question.
One more question.
Sure.
Yes.
Have you used butcher paper as a cover sheet for applying?
Yeah, butcher paper acts sort of the same way as your parchment paper. So yeah, butcher paper is good to use.
All right, and here we have it. Kortez, you want to hold that up?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if we should go to the overhead or go to the overhead. All right. So yeah, as you can see, it's a combination of one material but two different colors. We have the Tiger Lily pink and then the bronze. But, oh, where's that shirt at? Oh, never mind. I was going to let you whip it up.
Oh,
Whatever.
yeah. So this is another great example. We've been talking in the office about metallic puff quite a bit the last couple of weeks, getting ready for this. And I say it the bad way a lot, and I have to get used to saying it this way. Anytime I see something Kortez does, what the puff, Kortez? So,
But this here is just showing another example of how you can combine more than two colors onto one carrier sheet to then get a single press that presses out really well.
Can
and this
you,
is all done with that one-step process.
Yep.
Can you explain the alternative too of what someone would have to do if they don't use that PSV trick?
In order to get a consistent puff like this without the carrier sheets messing up your finish, I would suggest taking the widest part of your design, creating a weed box around that, and making sure that everything else that you cut after you've sent your design through the cutter is within that same carrier sheet, the same size, because as you go and layer and press, you need everything, like I said, within that same size of the carrier sheet. That way you don't mess up the actual material itself throughout the press application.
So someone would have to cut their carriers too, right?
Yes.
Close to the smallest of the other colors, perfect.
Yes. Yep.
And then Swift Creek Customs chimed in and said, just make sure not to use wax paper.
Yes.
Yes, do not
Thanks,
use wax
Ellie Mae.
paper.
All right, well, if we have no further questions, we mentioned as we got started something about a giveaway. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of right now. If you can, anyone who's still with us, if you can put, use puff as the keyword in the comments, we'll just take a few seconds to let everyone, give them a chance to type that in. And maybe throw in what your favorite color is as well. Something that you're excited about using. But enter that, the keyword puff. And for the giveaway, we've put together a nice package of not only the new 4 colors, but also the original colors as well. So you'll get 6 sheets in total of our Easy Puff Metallic.
You get a brochure, see a slap band, get a nice little keychain with swatches of various materials.
You can put that on the overhead camera.
Oh, okay.
And of course,
Shirt fetty.
shirt fetty. So we have enough entries in, Adam, we can pick the winner?
I think so. I think this is a good point to cut it off. So let me run the tool. It's going to take a few seconds.
All right. We're spinning, we're spinning.
Just keep spinning, just keep spinning.
All right, we have our winner.
We have our winner. Go ahead, Adam.
The winner, this one came from YouTube, is The Best Oma.
Congratulations, Oma. That's great. And if you could, send us an email at social@caesarna.com, Oma, with your address. And then somebody will be reaching out to you to get this lovely prize package out to you. So, Kortez, we have anything else you want to cover before we say goodbye?
Nah, be sure to tune in this Thursday. Patrick Ali will be back doing another class after dark. I believe that starts at 7, and I think he's going over more of just the HTV 101, how to use it, how to layer it, depending on material and garment maybe. So yeah, just stay tuned in for that.
Yeah, there's 2 parts to that, actually. One on Thursday. There's 3 parts. Okay, Thursday, next Tuesday at noon in our normal time? No? It's all 7.
Thursday, okay.
Thursday at noon, and then Sorry, you guys. Almost there, PB.
Yeah, I'm close.
Part 1, this Thursday at 7. Next Thursday, couldn't tell you the date, but 12 p.m. afternoon. We're doing after dark and afternoon.
That's standard or saving time, daylight
Yes,
saving time.
daylight saving
Gotcha.
time. And then the last one will be, I think, the 27th, which is also Thursday at 7.
At
So,
7. So 7, noon, and 7.
yes.
So keep an eye out for that. I think we have links to that on our Facebook and social media pages. You can just comment after dark on those posts, and we'll send you the registration form. Kortez, you have some travel coming up too in the next week or so?
Yes, so at the end of next week, I'll actually be in Atlantic City in New Jersey for the Impressions Expo show. So if you're around the area, or if you're able to come up and see what Siser's all about, I would highly recommend seeing what we have to show you.
Excellent. You'll be in our friends from Total Ink Solutions.
Yes.
I think that booth is 1221. If you want to register and come check us out there. I'm actually homebound for a little bit for the first time in a while, but I'll be with our friends over at One Stop the first week of April at their expo in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So if you're in the area, stop by and say hello. And then even Anna is going out on the road soon. Anna, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be, is it Mesa or Mesa?
Mesa.
Mesa, Arizona.
Yeah.
This is my first trip by myself, so wish me luck. Come hang out if you're in Arizona.
Our friends over at Prism Inks will take very good care of you out there. So that's going to be at the DTF Expo in Mesa, Arizona, the 1st and 2nd. So if you're in any of those areas, East Coast, Great Lakes region, or in the Southwest, you have a good chance of running into someone from Siser. Also, this week, last but not least, our very own Stephanie will be in Oklahoma City. I get my cities mixed up. Oklahoma City with our friends from GSG. They're hosting an open house this coming Thursday, the 13th. So if you're in that region, feel free to stop by and check her out. So, all right. With having said that, we want to thank everybody for joining in and maybe sticking with us twice. So we're going to give you the Patrick Ali goodbye, and have a great day, everyone.